What is an Opco and what is a Holdco? What does this look like inside of a corporation, and when would you want to set up something like this inside of your corporation? Let's dive in. So an operating company is essentially your business. It's where you generate the revenue. You have staff, you have contracts, leases, you have customers. On the other side of that, you can open up a Holdco. So I like to say it's like a vault. So it exists to hold money, investments, life insurance policies. So when you open up a Holdco, how do you actually transfer money from your operating company to your holding company? It's going to be through dividends, and it's what's called an intercorporate dividend. So typically it's tax free. Now there are a few rules with this. So it does have to be a Canadian controlled private corporation, and your holding company needs to own at least 10% of the voting shares. So these do need to be connected. Now, when would you want to open up a holding company? So if you find that you have a lot of extra money sitting in your operating company and you don't need it for your lifestyle, that's when you would want to look at opening up a Holdco. And that brings me to the next point here. You want to protect your corporation's growing wealth. So if you just leave it in the operating company, it can be at risk to creditors, lawsuits, audits, anything like that. So holding it in the Holdco instead, like I said, it's like a vault or a safe, so it's protected there. Now, lastly, some people open up a holding company because they want to do tax efficient planning, estate planning, things like that. But something to note is it's the exact same. So you're going to have that passive income, and passive income is taxed at 50%. And like I said before, if you earn 50K or more, you start losing that small business deduction where you're taxed at only 11%. So what people do in their holding company is they start to open up life insurance policies inside of their holding company, and the cash value grows tax deferred, so it won't affect your passive income that you make for the year. And I always stress this, that 11% is probably one of the most important things you can protect if you have a corporation, because I would much rather pay 11% than be paying 27% on my active business income. And especially with passive income, if you're making passive income, that's taxed at 50%. So you really have to be careful and use the right strategies. So if you guys have any questions, comments, anything you want to add, feel free to comment below or send me a DM.